Good morning. To all who are here in the sanctuary or connecting with us through technology or watching this after the fact, I welcome you to People's Church. My name is Steve Hirschner. My pronouns are he, him. I serve on your board of trustees. Today, worship is led by our minister, the Reverend Carin Bringelson, and our worship associate, Emily Hoselt. We have Judy Michelin on the piano, Matt Wild on internet outreach, and our special musician today is David Kind. As an official welcoming, all the people of goodwill are welcome here at People's Church. As an official welcoming congregation, we celebrate and honor your sexual orientation, gender expression, and gender identity, as well as your race, ethnicity, and cultural background. We also celebrate your journeys with faith and doubt, your comfort and discomfort with money, your bodies of all sizes and shapes, both seen and unseen, your age and generational perspectives, and so much more. Whoever you are accepted just exactly as you are. A special welcome goes out to any newcomer joining worship today. If you would like to be added to our mailing list, please contact the church office, or if you're here in person, please fill out the green card that you can see in the pew in front of you, pew rack in front of you, and place it in the offering plate as it gets passed later in service. Online participants are welcome to chat with everyone gathered on Zoom following today's worship. And in-person participants are invited for coffee and conversation at the lower level following the service. If you have an order of service, please look at the back and consider if there's something you'd like to be involved with here in this vibrant congregation. We have several reminders today. Next week, there will be no faith formation classes. Instead, middle and high school youth are invited to gather at 10:40 a.m. to help hide the Easter eggs before service. The annual Easter egg hunt will be held directly after service for kids 5th grade and younger. The Sunday after next, April 27th, we are kicking off a series of exploring membership gatherings. Please see Megan Murphy-Salyer to sign up for the kickoff lunch. And Megan is waving there if you want to get a hold of her. Thank you. Finally, for announcements, Rich Patterson will be leading a walk today to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Sac and Fox Trail as a national recreation trail. All are welcome. There is no cost. You simply meet at the Nature Center barn parking lot at 2 p.m. today. So thank you very much. And then finally, we extend a great big thank you to the many volunteers who made today's gatherings possible. Thank you, Faith Formation leaders and assistants Lou Wilcox, Susan Petersmith, Megan Jones, and Shelby Benyon, Bill Hart and Terry Teeterman on the sound system, greeters, myself, and Kathleen, and the kitchen crew headed by the multitudes. With a sense of gratefulness for this time of being together, I invite you into a moment of awareness which will begin and end with our ringing bell.
offer these opening words adapted from It Will Be Enough, written by the Reverend Elizabeth Mount. In ancient times, they said, "Da ye nu." It would have been enough to have been spared after the plagues. It would have been enough to have been freed of slavery. It would have been enough to have had food in the desert. Now we question, when will it be enough again? Da ye nu. Will it be enough to protest in the streets? Will it be enough to contact our legislators? Will it be enough to raise our children centering love, living compassionate lives? Will it be enough to keep us well in the midst of fascism and authoritarianism? Now we wonder, worry, wish for answers. Da ye nu. It would have been enough. It will be enough again. If the story of Passover is told and teaches us how to live in this time, it will be enough. If the stories of our ancestors bring us hope for tomorrow, it will be enough. If we join together in remembering that we all come from people who have survived again and again, it will be enough this year, as it is each and every year. Da ye nu. It will be enough that we are together today. Come, let us worship together. In the tradition of our Unitarian Universalist ancestors, we light a chalice each time we gather. As Teru comes forward to light our chalice here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you at home to light a candle nearby or hold a warm intention in your heart. And as you all are willing and able, please join in reading aloud our chalice lighting words. As together we say, "In joy we kindle our chalice flame with gratitude for another day. May the spark serve as a beacon of equity and justice for all. May our flaming chalice symbolize our connections and our call for collective liberation."
All those who wish to are now invited in joining me in saying the words of affirmation of this church. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our gathering hymn today is number 404, What Gift Can We Bring? This is our hymn of the month for April. I invite all to rise in body and or spirit as you are able.
What gift can we bring? What present, what token, what word can convey the joy of this day? One gratefully come, remembering, rejoicing, what so
course, you want to come forward to be part of a message for all ages. And yes, we do need some puppet helpers. Thank you for grabbing that dog. This is a bread bowl from my great-grandmother. And we are reading a book a little bit about bread and a little bit not about my great-grandmother. What is it called, Ms. Lou?
The Little Red Hen and the Passover Matzah.
Okay, so when she reads your parts that the animals say, you be sure to wave your puppet around, okay?
It's by Leslie Kimmelman. Can you be seated, please? Illustrated by Paul
Have a seat
Meisel.
next to me.
The year was passing. The little red hen could feel the change of the seasons on the tips of her tail feathers. She could smell it in the barnyard air. She could see it on her calendar.
Oi, gewalt!
Exclaim-
Exclaimed the little red hen, thinking ahead to spring. Before I know it, it will be time for Passover. I will need some matzah for my Seder dinner, and that begins with some grains of wheat.
In a corner of the chicken coop, the little red hen kept a small pile of grains safe from wind and water. She gathered them now and went to find her friends. Such friends she had, always ready to lend a hand.
Who will help me plant these grains? She asked them.
And the sheep says,
Not me. I did that video before, Mom.
And what happens after that?
and the horse said, "Sorry, bub."
Sorry, bud.
And the dog says, "Think again."
A little bit rudely. The little red hen was not happy. Okay, she grumbled. I should worry? I'll just do it myself. And the little red hen planted those grains.
Months passed. The sun shone, the rain fell, and the grain grew tall. The little red hen waited patiently. Finally, there was a field of wheat ready to be harvested. The little red hen went to find her friends.
This time, she was sure they'd lend a hand. Who will help me cut the wheat? She asked.
Not me, said the sheep.
And the horse said,
Sorry, bud.
"Sorry, bub." And the dog said, "Think again,"
Think again.
a little bit rudely. "We're your friends, not your servants."
The little red hen was definitely not happy. Friends, schmens, she muttered. I'll just do it myself. And the little red hen went to cut the wheat.
The wheat was ready for the mill. The little red hen gathered it together and went to find her friends.
They won't disappoint me again, she told herself confidently. Who will help me carry this wheat to the mill? She asked them.
Not me, said the sheep. Sorry, bud.
"Sorry, bub," said the horse. "Think again,"
Think again.
said the dog, a little bit rudely. "We're resting."
The little red hen was really not happy this time. I should live so long, she kvetched, to see this bunch of lazy no-goodniks put in an honest day's work. I'll just do it myself.
The little red hen took the wheat to the special Passover mill, where a miller ground it into flour. Then she schlepped that flour back home in a big, heavy sack, clucking to herself all the way. Before she knew it, it was spring, the morning of the first night of Passover. The little red hen had cleaned her house top to bottom. There wasn't a crumb of bread to be found anywhere.
Time to make the matzah, said the little red hen announced to her friends. Who wants to help? Everyone deserves a second or fourth chance, she reminded herself. But what do you think the little red hen heard?
Not me, said the sheep. Sorry, bud.
Said the horse. "Ha ha," laughed the dog,
Hey.
more than a little bit rudely.
Think again.
The little red hen was not happy. She was not surprised either. Okay, she said. So I should starve? I'll just make it myself.
The little red hen washed up carefully. She put a big bowl on the kitchen table. Then she set her timer. According to Jewish law, Passover matzah had to be finished in just 18 minutes. The little red hen mixed the flour and water quickly. She kneaded it quickly. She rolled it out nice and flat quickly. She pricked it all over, prickly. She put it into the oven to bake.
Ding!
The matzah was ready, just in time. Then the little red hen prepared the Seder dinner. She boiled eggs, simmered soup, and mixed gefilte fish. She washed parsley, chopped apples and nuts, and stirred batter for a cake. Finally, she set the table, putting a beautiful Passover Haggadah at each place, and an extra chair for Elijah the prophet, should he come, God willing. She finished with a covered plate of homemade matzah. The little red hen sat in a chair and waited. When the sun began to set in the evening sky, there was a knock at the door. Guess who was standing there? The sheep said,
Bah! Nay! Bark!
"We're famished," they told the little red hen. "What's for dinner?"
You've got to be kidding me, scolded the little red hen. What chutzpah! You didn't help me plant the grains when I asked you. You didn't help me harvest the wheat, or carry it to the mill, or take it back home again. You did not even help me bake the matzah. So tell me, why should I share my Seder with the likes of you?
Sheep, horse, and dog couldn't think of anything to say. The little red hen was right. They hadn't been very good friends. The three animals silently hung their heads in shame. The little red hen was quiet too.
Now I should invite them to my Seder? She thought.
Then she remembered the words written in the Passover Haggadah. "Let all who are hungry come and eat." She looked at her friends. They looked hungry. Besides, the little red hen was a good egg. A mensch forgives.
And why are you just standing there? She said finally. Come in.
So together the friends celebrated the holiday. Together they noshed on tasty, crunchy matzah. And when the Seder was over, after all the planting and the harvesting and the schlepping and the cleaning and the baking and the feasting, just who do you think had to wash all those dishes?
The little red hen.
Not I, said the little red hen.
Are they all working?
And the sheep and the horse and the
Dog.
dog washed the dishes.
Wash,
And
wash,
she
wash,
was
wash.
so grateful. Thank you. And that is our story. Let's sing you back to your seats. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
As Unitarian Universalists, we hold shared values which build on the foundation of a liberating love. We covenant, congregation to congregation and through our association, to support and assist one another in our ministries. We draw from our heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage. Our living tradition draws inspiration from direct experiences of transcending mystery and wonder, as well as from sacred, secular, and scientific understandings that help us make meaning and live by our values. Today's source of inspiration is number 632 in our gray hymnals. If you'd like to read along and have a hymnal nearby, please turn to 632. This was written by Alla Renee Bozarth and is entitled Passover Remembered. It will be read by a collection of congregants. Bob?
Pack nothing. Bring only your determination to serve and your willingness to be free. Don't wait for the bread to rise. Take nourishment for the journey, but eat standing. Be ready to move at a moment's notice.
Do not hesitate to leave your old ways behind. Fear, silence, submission. Only surrender to the need of the time, to love justice and walk humbly with your God.
Begin quickly, before you have time to sink back into the old slavery set out in the dark. I will send fire to warm and encourage you. I will be with you in the fire, and I will be with you in the cloud.
I'll give you dreams in the desert to guide you safely home to that place you have not yet to see. I'm sending you into the wilderness to make a way and to learn my ways more deeply.
Some of you will be so changed by withers and wanderings that even your closest friends will have to learn your features as though for the first time. Some of you will not change at all.
Some will be abandoned by your dearest loves and misunderstood by those who have known you since birth and feel abandoned by you. Some will find new friendship in unlikely faces and old friends as faithful and true as the pillar of God's flame.
Sing songs as you go and hold close together. You may grow at times and grow confused and lost your way. Touch each other and keep telling the stories. Make maps as you go. Remember the way back from before you were born.
So you will be only the first of many waves of deliverance on these deserts and seas.
It is the first of many beginnings, your Pashkultad. Remain true to this mystery.
Pass on the whole story. Do not go back. I am with you now, and I am waiting for you. Here ends the reading. Thank you. Our next hymn is number 220. It is Bring Out the Festal Bread. I invite all to rise in body and our spirit to sing together. Number 220.
Bring out the festal bread and sing songs of freedom. Shout with the slaves who fled and sing songs of freedom. What modern pharaohs live in arrogance crowned, who shall be sent to challenge folly unbounded. Bring out the festal bread and sing songs of freedom. Shout with the slaves who fled and sing songs of freedom. Chains still their hearts to break, their days are not finished. And all their settlement they are not diminished. Bring out the festal bread and sing songs of freedom. Shout with the slaves who fight and sing songs of freedom. Still those remembered, but brother and sister, still do the plagues affect us red as the river. Bring out the festal bread and sing songs of freedom. Shout with the slaves who fight and sing songs of freedom. Long be our journey, and yet justice is worth it. Dance, Sister Miriam, and help us to birth it. Bring out the festal bread and sing songs of freedom. Shout with the slaves who fight and sing songs of freedom. Oh, people, lift your heads and lift to the mountains. Bushes of flames will call us, rocks still gush fountains. Bring out the festal bread and sing songs of freedom. Shout with the slaves who fight and sing songs of freedom.
Really, really, shout those songs. Sing songs of freedom. I want to thank all those readers, the special musicians, the extra singers. As I wrote in April's newsletter, this month's theme on the practices of joy seems a little bit like a stretch for me these days. When we explore the Exodus story from the Jewish holiday of Passover, we are reminded of much hardship. How could those hardships not outweigh any joy? The Exodus story, as assembled by Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt, goes something like this. Once upon a time, our people went into exile in the land of Egypt. During a famine, our ancestor Jacob and his family fled to Egypt where food was plentiful. Generations passed, and our people remained in Egypt. In time, a new Pharaoh ascended to the throne. He found our difference threatening and ordered our people enslaved. In fear of rebellion, Pharaoh decreed that all Hebrew boy children be killed. Two midwives named Shiphrah and Puah defied his orders, claiming that the Hebrew women are so hardy, they give birth before we arrive. Through their courage, a boy survived. Fearing for his safety, his family placed him as a baby in a basket, and he floated down the Nile River. He was found and adopted by Pharaoh's daughter, who named him Moshe. Thus he survived to adulthood and was raised as Prince of Egypt. Although a child of privilege, as he grew, he became aware of the slaves who worked in the brickyards of his father. When he saw an overseer mistreat a slave, he struck that overseer and killed him. Fearing retribution, he set out across the Sinai desert alone. God spoke to him from a burning bush, which, though it flamed, was not consumed. The voice called to him to lead the Hebrew people to freedom. Moses argued with God, pleading inadequacy, but God disagreed. Moses returned to Egypt and went to the Pharaoh to argue the injustice of slavery. He gave Pharaoh a mandate which resounds through history. Let my people go. Pharaoh refused, and Moses warned him that mighty God would strike the Egyptian people. These threats were not idle. 10 terrible plagues were unleashed upon the Egyptians. Only when his nation lay in ruins did Pharaoh agree to our liberation. Fearful that Pharaoh would change his mind, our people fled, not waiting for their dough to rise. Our people did not leave Egypt alone. A mixed multitude went with them. From this, we learn that liberation is not for us alone, but for all the nations of the earth. Pharaoh's army followed us to the Sea of Reeds. We plunged into the waters. Only when we had gone as far as we could did the waters part for us. We mourn, even now, that Pharaoh's army drowned. Our liberation is bittersweet because people died in our pursuit. There's more to the story, but I'm going to leave it at that this morning. There's a lot of hardship in that ancient story. How is joy even possible when the hardships of enslavement, plagues, and death abound? We might ask that same question today, given our current political and cultural hardships. How is joy even possible? Well, a week and a day ago, I was over on 8th Avenue Southeast with about 999 other people. My wife Bev and I were attending the Hands Off protest with family members who were visiting from Minnesota. Our niece and her 2 teenage sons. Like most of our fellow participants, we made signs decrying the hardships heavy on our minds and hearts. At some point, I took to reading aloud the signs that people held. I was hoping I could be a sort of mirror for each individual, affirming that their concerns were being seen and heard. Concerns like hands-off Social Security, hands-off libraries and museums, hands-off our schools, hands-off trans people, hands-off diversity, equity, and inclusion, hands-off immigrants and refugees, hands-off Medicaid, hands-off federal workers, hands-off the Constitution, hands-off our democracy, hands-off freedom of speech. Each sign was a cry in the wilderness. Each sign felt like a prayer lifted up. And yet, despite the heaviness of these hardships, these cries, these prayers, there was a joy felt too. A joy in simply being together, not isolated in our own little thought bubbles or walled up in despair. A joy in the creative process of sign making. Some signs had flags waving on them, and others were like full-on costumes. There was a joy in the collective breath, needed to shout chants like, "No kings, no czars, democracy is ours." A joy in recognizing friends from long ago. I saw more than one mini reunion of long-lost pals. So yes, from this experience, I can say that joy is possible. And while spontaneous joy should not go unacknowledged, please do notice the joy and laughter that bubbles up unexpectedly. It's also important to remember that the joy of freedom requires some planning, requires some community organizing. I'm sure last week's protest took a lot of planning. After all, I saw people in yellow vests helping protesters cross the street safely. I saw people with bullhorns to bellow into, buckets to keep a beat, and bottles of water to distribute. The joy of freedom requires planning. Moses had his brother Aaron to help with planning. The little red hen planned with her calendar and her to-do list. I do wonder, though, and worry about her joy. I believe that her joy was diminished by thinking too individualistically. What if she, instead of just doing it herself, what if she had spent more time deepening her relationships with sheep, horse, and dog? What if she had understood that their self-interests were connected to her own goals? Maybe, just maybe, the little red hen would have experienced much earlier the joy that her friends bring her, for they too were good eggs. The joy of freedom requires some planning. The joy of collective liberation will require us to plan, to engage in some community organizing. And luckily for People's Church, we have an opportunity to engage in such community organizing. Soon, some people's people will be getting trained through a group called Gamaliel. These professional community organizers will be working with People's Church alongside a dozen other congregations and nonprofits here in Cedar Rapids. This Gamaliel model of community organizing starts with sacred conversations. That is, sitting down one-on-one and asking curious and courageous questions. Questions like, how have our shared values of justice, equity, and generosity shown up in your life? What in your life made you care about this issue so deeply? How might we live compassionate lives with concern for the self-interests and needs of others in our shared community? When we go deep with one another, we become connected to each other in ways that inspire us to fight for and alongside our fellow human beings. The sacred conversations are just phase one of a three-phase process. After we gather information through our sacred conversations, then we will delve into strategic discernment, which leads us into design and implementation. You will get to learn more about this exciting community organizing initiative in the weeks and months ahead. So stay tuned. Are you ready? Are we ever ready? Are we ever ready to leave the life we know well and travel into the unknown towards a collective liberation? In the words shared by our collection of congregants this morning, bring only your determination to serve and your willingness to be free. Do not hesitate to leave your old ways behind. Fear, silence, submission. Begin quickly before you have time to sink back into old slavery. And in doing so, may we remember that joy is possible. That same reading reminds us, sing songs as you go, and hold close together. Touch each other, and keep telling the stories. May joy and justice be ours in this moment and in the days and months ahead. May it be so, and may we be so.
Each week, we participate as a community in the spiritual practice of generosity. On the second Sunday of each month, the offering we collect goes to support the social justice priorities voted on by the membership of this church. Today, our donations will go to the Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice, The Iowa MMJ is a statewide, membership-based legal service and advocacy organization driven and led by immigrant and refugee voices united with allies. You have the option of putting cash or a check into the offering plate being passed here in the sanctuary, or you can also mail a check to the church, donate online at peoplesuu.org, or use the Vanco mobile app. And now, in a spirit of generosity and compassion, this morning's offering will now be gratefully given and lovingly received.
Thank you. Thank you for all the ways that you embody generosity. May we be transformed by our giving. May the world be transformed by our gifts. We now enter into a time of prayerful meditation, a time when you're invited to silently acknowledge your great joys and your deep sorrows. As we share our sorrows, may we hold each other in love. As we share our joys, may we see it as a point of resistance. For those who would like to come forward in silence, you'll have two options of either using a stone to represent the stirrings of your heart and placing it in our beloved water, or choosing a candle and having that represent the stirrings of your heart. Emily will start by lighting a candle that holds so much, not just the ongoing wars in our world and all those impacted by those conflicts, but also representing all those who have been detained without due process. And so now, I invite all who would like to come forward down the center aisle and return to your seat down the side aisle. As you are willing and able, please join me in a spirit of meditation and prayer. Spirit of life, lover of liberation, we gather today with joys bubbling over and with sorrows weighing us down. These tangible candles and stones are symbols of all that we experience, reminding us that all of it is held in love, shared in community. May the breath of the universe moving through our lungs remind us that we are not alone. May we give thanks for the community and the community organizing that brings us to one another and helps us get free together. Blessed be, and amen. We do get to sing together one last time. A practice of joy bringing if I've ever felt it. So our final hymn is number 1035, Freedom is Coming. This is apparently not one this congregation has done before, so I invite you to feel brave and courageous. And we'll be singing through, each time you see the words on the screen, that first verse, we'll sing it twice. The second verse, we'll repeat it, and the third verse, we'll repeat it. So, as you are willing and able, please rise in body and or spirit. Here we go.
Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom is coming. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know, oh, yes, I know, oh, yes, I know, freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know, oh, yes, I know, oh, yes, I know, freedom is coming. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom is coming. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know.
You may be seated. Before we enjoy one last gift of music from our special musician, I offer you this benediction. I send you off into your weeks to open up to joy, for it is a friend of freedom, knowing always that you have enough and that you are enough. Blessed be, and go in peace. Oh, that little thing. Thank you. My bad. All are invited to read aloud our words to extinguish our chalice flame today together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now we can enjoy joy and freedom and music.